Alright my friends, welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew and today we are essentially going to go through my rally games to find the best one, and I'm going to try to rate these the best I can. At the end of the video I'll do like a rating for which one I thought was the best, but we're going to go through and we're going to experience each one. So today we're going to start with BeamNG. BeamNG has some rally content in here. So we're gonna jump into the scenario, and we're gonna go to the one that I was just playing around with earlier today. I put out a video, but I want to kind of go through here and give you guys just my overall opinion while using the Fanatec DD Pro. The full setup is going to be Fanatec DD Pro with the Club Sport R330 Universal Hub V2 for Xbox, as well as the Club Sport V3 inverted pedals. Those are, I don't even know. Okay, this game here kind of loads a little bit weird, so let me go through that again. So the setup is Fanatec DD Pro. I'm on the Next Level Racing FGT cockpit. I am utilizing the FSR or the ERS4 seat. That is an upgrade that you can put on this particular cockpit. All of the Next Level Racing things, I am an affiliate with them. I am an affiliate with Fanatec. So if you decide to buy any of this stuff, use those links in the description below this video. So Fanatec DD Pro is the base. Wheel rim is the Club Sport V2 Universal Hub for Xbox with the R330 rim, and then I have the Club Sport V3 inverted pedals for my pedals with the load cell kit in there with a medium setting in there. I find that to be the best for rally racing. So everything else is pretty set up. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start this little thing, and then I will give you my feelings at the end. And yes, I am in pajama pants, so let's go ahead and do this. Now there's a specific reason I started with BeamNG first, is just because this one here I was playing earlier, so I wanted to kind of get a feel for how this game feels, and then we'll compare it. We'll go through like Dirt Rally 2.0. We're going to be going through some rally games today, guys. We're going to do one full track on each one. You know, usually one of my favorite tracks out of those games in my car combination or whatever for each one of those. We got some WRC from Kiloton, from KT Racing that we're going to be going through. There's a couple of those. We got Generations plus 10. 10 is, you know, probably 10, and then obviously some Dirt Rally 2.0, and then obviously EA Sports WRC. So this is going to be quite the long video, because I'm going to do one track, and then I'm going to talk about that a little bit after I finish the race, how it felt and stuff like that. And then we'll go from there, my friends. But yeah, this is the project that I feel like I want to work on today, because I'm still kind of sad about the limbo of WRC being up for grabs right now. And as we're driving through here, maybe the guys that are responsible for BeamNG, maybe they should get a crack at WRC, man. You never know. We'll just kind of go and we'll just kind of like rate these in terms of physics and the driving and stuff like that. I'll kind of rate each game how they are at the end of each run, and how they feel and stuff. I kind of find BeamNG, guys, to be pretty ultra realistic in terms of how the car feels, how the braking distance, stuff like that is feeling in here. So forgive me. And there's a full on damage model in this game. like you can absolutely freaking destroy the whole car. I used this stage because I was like, man, this is the beautiful stage. So we'll use this stage as the most beautiful stage for this one. And then like this stage is absolutely beautiful. Car sounds in here absolutely incredible. I love the way the car sounds. You get the whistling sound and stuff on some of these older cars and stuff. That just sounds so freaking awesome. There is an actual freaking rally car in here too, but everything is generic. Everything is generic for this game. You don't get you don't get the actual freaking cars or anything like that. So it is generic. That would be cool if these guys could actually get a license and be able to bring this absolute damage model to a rally experience, guys. I think that would be absolutely incredible. And we will leave the frame rate counter up so that you guys can actually see the performance of these, because yes, we are on the 9070 XT as well. Very, very cool. So this video, this is the introduction part of it, so it'll be, you know, whew, man, stopping on the tarmac versus the gravel on here is a little bit different. Like yeah. Yeah, this is an interesting experience, my friends, for sure. Whew. Trying to get a nice little turn through there. So, okay, that's BeamNG. BeamNG absolutely feels incredible. This is awesome. I just started playing around with this today. Now, I've played this game before, just haven't put a whole lot of time into it, mainly because of the genericness of it. Obviously, the visuals are, you know, they're not necessarily, they're not bad. I mean, as you can see, they look pretty decent, but at the same time, this game is more of a, I think this, I kind of look at this game more as like a tech demo with just a whole bunch. It's like a, there's just a lot in there. Now, in terms of like a full-on project for the developers of BeamNG, if they could get the license for WRC, I think they would absolutely make the biggest difference. But they would have to be able to retain the car damage. They'd have to be able to retain everything that they have in here, and be able to significantly improve the overall visual quality of the overall experience. Now, this looks pretty good. I bet they could honestly pull this off, but it looks more Kiloton. It looks closer to Kiloton than it does any of the newer stuff. So, yeah, I think that these guys would absolutely be an incredible choice for WRC. So let's go ahead and jump over to the next game. All right, my friends, we are back with the second game. This is going to be Dirt Rally 2.0. We are running this on, like I said in the last video, you already know what we are set up. So let me tell you about this game. We are on the North Fork Pass, New England. I like this track a lot. This is the Audi. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into this rally, and hopefully it works.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I gotta change my view first. Gosh dang it. Forgot. Oh.
50, 6 left of the crest.
I don't think I have the view button. Oh yeah, I do. Okay, so we're just gonna restart that. That was throwing me off. Alright. Now this car is a freaking absolute monster. I haven't played this for a while. This car's a monster. Sorry guys, this one here is a lot more like a brutal car, so I gotta pay attention to and listen, but whew, man. I mean, this is one of the easier tracks on here. Oh boy. Whoa. Dang, I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Get back on the road there, buddy. Huh. know why I'm freaking sliding like that so much. It's almost like traction control is like kicking in. Okay, so with Dirt Rally 2.0, this being one of those games that this was the one that like taught me how to actually get better at rally racing. So this one here is still very high up there. When I compared this to something like BeamNG, with that having like more realistic physics and stuff like that, this is probably one of those ones that are very, very close to that, but it still also has that arcadey slide kind of feel to it, whereas the BeamNG feels more planted and the cars feel a little bit heavier than what they do on this. But we just went from two polar opposites, with the other car being, you know, nowhere near as fast and as agile as the Audi freaking B class. But this car right here, this is like the extreme of this game. Like B class is the extreme of what Dirt Rally 2.0 has to offer. Yeah, you could jump in like some of the other cars or like modern rally cars or something like that and have a much better, easier experience. But the fact that like Dirt Rally 2 still remains very high on my list for rally games, like this is easily like in that 10 category for me. The reason why I don't play a lot of Dirt Rally 2 anymore is because the courses are very short. Obviously, you can get through those pretty quickly, and you know, these are like 6-minute courses where I would like, you know, 7 or like 10-15 minute length, you know, courses or whatever, at least double or whatever. So yeah, Dirt Rally 2.0 is very high on that list for me, so this is definitely always going to be one of my favorites, and this one is still pretty brutal to drive. Definitely, I obviously recommend this to people that are a little bit more seasoned, but if you've got the grit and the determination to play rally, this is an incredible freaking game that you must own. So, all right, guys, let's jump on over to the next game. All right, my friends, we are back with our third game. This is WRC's, well, EA Sports WRC. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump in the new Puma for this rally. We are going to be in, I believe I've selected Poland for this. Yeah, Poland, Orland. So we're going to go ahead and jump into this rally on here, and then we will be right back to talk about the overall experience with EA Sports WRC.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. To level 60. 5 right, 50. Slow. Yes, to left. Left 4 right, half roll. Left to crest 80. Late, slight right, crest 80. Slight left to 5 right short for
Ooh. So, with EA Sports WRC, this one here is an interesting one for me, just due to the fact that it is obviously geared more toward bringing in as many players as they can. So, it does kind of veer toward the side of being a lot more approachable than something like Dirt Rally 2.0. Whereas with Dirt Rally 2.0, that game was unforgiving, but when you got good at that game, you were good. Like, you're considered, like, if you can get through those tracks, that's good. Like, I commend anybody that can play Dirt Rally 2. In terms of like this right here, it's a good experience, okay? And this is probably, if I was to, this is the game that I would say for sure, hey, this is where you should start if you want to get better at rallying, because this is a very approachable experience, and it has some of the longest rallies that some of the longest rallies that you're ever going to experience, and they are all modeled after the real world stages, and they're actual freaking courses. So this one here is pretty high up there for me too. Like, I would rate this one easily a 9 now. It wasn't always that way. When it first came out, it was very, very tough. Like, it was, I was like, ooh boy, I don't know about this one. But as it's growing over the time, it has gotten better, but it still does retain that more Simcade feeling to it. So alright guys, let's go ahead and jump on over to the next game. Alright my friends, welcome. We are back with the fourth game. This is WRC 10 and we are we're going to go ahead and do the Rally Estonia stage. So let's go ahead and do this, and then we will talk about this game right after we are done. So, WRC 10. The thing about this game, okay, and this is the crazy thing, is because I was a massive Dirt Rally 2.0 fan. I was like, no way, this game is the best. Dirt Rally is just, well. And somebody had told me, they're like, no, man, you got to try WRC 8 or whatever. And this was back, you know, like, because I'd already tried, like, WRC 7, and I was like, all right, whatever, this game's fine. I mean, cause this is back when I'm playing controller. But then I move over to these newer ones from Kiloton, from 8 forward, and 10 just kind of sticks out the best because it has, like, the better physics and all of that stuff. And it just felt overall better. 9 was really good, too. But there's a distinct difference between the Kiloton WRC games versus the other rally games that I've played. And out of all of these games right here, 10 would have been my absolute favorite because of just how damn good the freaking physics were on this and all of that. But they cut out some of my favorite stages on this one, and it just... This was like the low point for me in terms of like locations, but one of the better points of like, wow, I love the way this game drives. So WRC 10 is always going to have a spot in my heart, but we're going to move on to the next game right now. All right, my friends, we are back with the final of my top 5 rally games. And then after this, we will talk about which one is the absolute best that I like the most. So, we are on the Germany stage. We're Metamucil. We are in the Puma. And we are still on the Fanny Boy. So, let's go ahead and start this rally. Ooh. Had to pick a tougher stage for the last one. This game still doesn't have throttle control in the WRC cars. That's why it's a little bit harder to drive these, but it's still fun. That sense of freaking speed on this game is just incredible. Oh, come on. What the heck is going on with you, car? It's almost like you gotta freaking gun it for everything, so if you get stuck going slow around a corner, you gotta kind of just roll it around because you don't have any freaking throttle control. Come on. Not having throttle control on this game really does suck for wanting to drive the WRC cars. Should have slowed down a little bit first. Need that throttle control, but like I said, you don't have it, but it is still fun to play this game. That's kind of why I wanted to pick this stage, because it's got a really lot of sharp freaking turns and places where throttle control is very, very, very important, but you know, you got to emphasize the negatives about the games too, especially on these ones where all these spots right here where I'm losing time because I can't freaking modulate my throttle. You're basically just revving it up, getting a lot of speed, and then letting off for some of these spots. Just kind of coasting over them, because there's really not much else you can do. A lot of hard braking, a lot of freaking e-braking, precise steering. But the freaking sense of speed and the power and the boost, the way it just feels like it just boosts right off. I get like, I'm like, yeah, I love it. So this game here is one that I absolutely love, but it's hard to recommend in terms of like being a, like, this is a buy this for you and play it game, just because you like it. Now I believe the other cars in this game though have the throttle control, just not the WRC cars. The main ones, like the juniors and stuff, all work, I believe. Okay, come on. Ooh, dang. Don't hit those. They will straighten you out real quick. Okay, so yeah. WRC Generations. Freaking love this game. It has all the content from all of the other games except for like Australia track and there's another one that you don't get. But in terms of like packed with content, yeah, absolutely. This is a must-have game. But you have to deal with the shortcomings of the throttle control, and while that sucks, it's still playable. It's still playable. You can still enjoy it, but it is going to be tougher to enjoy that and to play with these cars. But there are still some fast cars in here. You got some of the older Audis. There's a lot of other cars in this game that you can still utilize and still be fast and still get that good sense of speed and the overall experience that this game offers. So, all right, guys, I'm going to give you my final thoughts on the regular camera. So, all right, my friends, we just got done with my five favorite rally games that I actively play all the time. Well, BeamNG is kind of a little bit newer to this list, just due to the fact that they just brought out this rally stuff and did a big update for this on April 30th, I believe. So I wanted to get BeamNG in there. BeamNG is more of a game that I do. Whoops, sorry guys, had to change that tracking a little bit. But BeamNG is something that I want to start investing a little bit more time into. So you're probably going to start getting some more videos on that one. But in terms of the other four, so BeamNG is one that, like, I gotta explain this just a little bit more. BeamNG is more of a just like a collage of all kinds of different stuff. It's more of like a tech demo for like the damage model for the game and stuff like that, but bringing this to it, bringing a rally experience into that, very cool, because it already has like rock climbing and all kinds of other stuff in there. So having some dedicated rally content in there is absolutely freaking awesome. So I will be engaging in that as much as possible. But the other 4 are ones that I actively play a lot. You know, Dirt Rally 2.0, EA Sports WRC, WRC 10, and WRC Generations. So I wanted to kind of, you know, give you my honest opinion on those 4 games. Now, Dirt Rally 2.0, okay, I can't stress this enough, is an incredible experience. The driving, the experience is just awesome. That was the game that literally put me in a spot with a will, okay? Because a will, well, between Dirt Rally 2.0 and WRC 8 on a will. Dirt Rally 2.0 taught me a lot, kicked my butt, kept me going. There were, you know, different types of ways that I figured out how to do sim racing with Dirt Rally 2.0. The physics and everything that game has to offer is a must-have. Absolutely a must-have. You should own that game and play that. Now, I do look at that as more of a harder, more like a sim experience that is definitely harder to play, whereas all the rest of the games on this list are significantly easier. So Dirt Rally 2.0 is definitely a must-have, but the other ones you're going to probably have more enjoyment with. EA Sports WRC, okay? Now, this game had a lot going for it when it first launched. You know, obviously the seasons, it has, you know, the, you know, being able to have actual real life tracks on there that you do rallying and stuff. But you know, there's a lot of complaint, you know, with the overall visual quality. They should have done something a little bit different with the visuals. Unreal Engine 4 might not have been the best choice for it, but in terms of being able to get those longer laser scanned tracks, I like it. I mean, the visuals are not mind-blowing, but as you can see, you know, as you saw throughout this whole thing, none of these games really have absolutely mind-blowing, next-gen, realistic visuals. None of them. So, in terms of like the visual quality of EA Sports WRC, I think it's on par easily with the rest of these games and looks good no matter what. Like they all look good. So it's mainly about the driving. So when it comes to the driving, EA Sports WRC is, if you're brand new to racing, to rally racing, and you want to get good, have fun, do power slides, and just, you know, fully learn how to, you know, start engaging in sim racing with rally, EA Sports WRC is the best starting point, period. Like, hands down, it is the best, the most forgiving, but it can also deliver one hell of a freaking experience that is challenging as well. So yes, EA Sports WRC is definitely a game that I would absolutely recommend, and that's why it's in my top 5 rally racing games that I absolutely freaking enjoy. Now, WRC 10, this is Kiloton, man. These were the guys that previously had the license for WRC. WRC 10, in my opinion, was the pinnacle of what Kiloton had done in terms of physics and everything else. Now, as you saw, we were doing the Estonia rally for WRC 10 because in my opinion, the gravel feel of WRC 10 is literally second to none. I love that fast. I love the way the cars feel when they slide. I love the control you have while sliding. And then when you get back on it in a straightaway, that punchy feeling of just being able to kick it up and hit that, like the sense of speed in WRC 10 in Kiloton games is just absolutely incredible. That is the thing that hooked me the most. The thing that hooked me the most was just how punchy and snappy the cars feel. So it's like when you're on that and you go from something like, you know, EA Sports or Dirt Rally over to something like WRC 10, you just get this mind-blowing experience that is so different. Like, it feels so different. but it offers so much in being able to deliver a rally experience that's fun and intuitive, and it blows your socks off, man. And WRC Generations, man, this game is one of my favorite rally games, but gosh damn it, the new rally cars, they don't have any throttle control. So what you're doing is you're basically just revving it up as hard as you're basically just mashing the throttle as fast as you can go, and then like letting off the throttle and coasting around a lot of stuff. And if you're at a spot where you need to go slow, you're basically just kind of rolling around, and then as soon as you get the opportunity, so it does kind of suck in that way. But all the other cars except for the newer rally cars, they still have the throttle control and stuff like that, so they are easier to drive. But when it comes to that game, there's just all the content from all of the WRC games is there. Like all of it, all the tracks, everything. The only ones you don't get is Australia. And I think there was one more location that they didn't bring to it, but they packed that game with so much content, cars, everything, that it's just one of those must-have games. And you just find a way to work around it. That's why I did the Mittelmusel, the Germany stage, with one of the newer rally cars, is because I wanted you to see that yes, you can still get good times, you can still manage, you can still have fun, but you're gonna have to learn you're gonna have to be intuitive, or not intuitive, but you're gonna have to like engineer your own way to be able to do that. But it is still enjoyable. Just you and that. But yes, you can use all the other cars, the Porsche, the Audi, everything else, and you can literally have fun in that game. It's an incredible experience and a must-have. If I had to recommend one of these 5 games to you, and this is me I'm not negating any other game out there. I'm not trying to take away from any of these experiences in any way, shape, or form. I do recommend all of them, actually. But if I had to, for newcomers, recommend a rally game that you're going to be good with, I would seriously point you towards EA Sports WRC. I would. And, you know, I just feel like out of all of them, the driving experience that I'm getting from that is SimCady for sure. But as I'm sitting here playing all these games, you know, for the last couple of days, I'm finding myself really enjoying EA Sports WRC a lot more than the other games, to be completely honest. But at the end of the day, you're just going to have to pick the best one for you. And out of those 5 games, all of them are still available. I would pick either WRC, EA Sports WRC, or potentially EA WRC Generations. Those ones there have a lot of content. You get all the stages from both seasons of, you know, content that they put out for EA Sports WRC, and you get all the content in WRC Generations. Both of these games are going to give you enough content to where you're not going to get bored very fast, and a lot of tracks, a lot of courses, a lot of locations, and a lot of cars. So those are the 2 top picks for me. WRC 10 is actually pretty bare bones when it comes to content. And then in terms of, you know, like both of them offer like the school and the training and all of that stuff. I would buy Dirt Rally 2.0 as well. Just because you never know when the licenses are going to end on that. But that game is tough. So keep that in mind. That is a very hard game. But it could definitely teach you, and the more you play that, the better you're going to be at every other rally game you ever play. So that's my honest opinion for these games. I hope you enjoy this video, and hit that like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.